Now, the DNC is supposed to remain neutral in primary races to avoid the idea that they are choosing one side over the other. In fact, their own charter says, well, we're supposed to remain neutral in primary races. Now, when it comes to general election races, obviously, it's their person, the person that has won the primary election. That's their candidate. Now, they didn't do that. In 2016, then Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz was not neutral. She actually put her thumb, hand, and entire body on the scale for Hillary Clinton. That is the establishment candidate. Now, she, of course, got in trouble for that and is now a disgraced former DNC chairwoman. But her replacement, Tom Perez, well, he claimed that it was going to be much, much different this time. Oh, no, I'm not going to get involved in these races. I'm not getting involved at all. Primaries are primaries. The DNC is supposed to stay out of it, right? Well, apparently he has lied because he has been caught doing the same thing. Now, this time, of course, in a very contentious New York gubernatorial race between Cynthia Nixon and Andrea Cuomo. Now, NBC News reports that Perez's highly unusual involvement in the race caught even Representative Keith Ellison, the DNC deputy chairman, by surprise. Ellison, through a spokesman, said, quote, "The Democratic Party should not intervene in the primary process. It is our role to be fair to all contestants and let voters decide." Now, look, to be fair, Ellison, you didn't see that coming. I like Keith Ellison. I think he's a good person. I think he's a strong progressive. But you didn't see that coming, Keith? Really? Look, Perez was only put there. He only jumped into the race to make sure that you didn't become chairman of the DNC. Let's be completely fair about that. But anyway, they're not being fair at all. They're not being neutral at all. In fact, recently Perez addressed the convention of the New York State Democratic Party. Now, that is controlled by Cuomo, and that was actually put into the article. This article by NBC is actually really strong. Now, he declared that he was proud to endorse Cuomo and his Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul. He said, "You've been delivering the results, and you've been delivering results that have made people's lives better. That is why Andrew Cuomo and Kathy Hochul are charter members of the accomplishments wing of the Democratic Party, and that's why I'm proud to endorse them." Really? The accomplishments wing. Well, that's funny. What kind of accomplishments has Cuomo actually done? I mean, other than, of course, empowering the IDC and Republicans to actually control the New York legislature. And, of course, he did that so that they actually couldn't do any progressive policy. Oh, what could I do? The IDC again. I had no choice. That's why we couldn't get Medicare for all in our state. That's why we couldn't legalize marijuana, even though a majority of New Yorkers actually want to legalize it. What could I do? I was constrained by the Republicans and by the the Democratic IDC. Again, the IDC is a bunch of right-wingers, right-wing Democrats working with Republicans. And again, this is a group that Cuomo helped found. He helped this group. So, look, man, you want to talk about accomplishments, right? That's not an accomplishment for progressives. But again, Cuomo's not a progressive. He is the establishment. Now, and that, of course, is why Perez is lining up behind him. Now, that's interesting because as head of the DNC, Perez is supposed to remain neutral. However, he gladly endorsed Cuomo. In fact, let me go back here to what Perez said about getting involved in primaries.
You know, when you in fact or in perception are trying to put the thumb on the scale in a spirited primary, that that can undermine public confidence in us, and that's why we've been neutral.
That's why Andrew Cuomo and Kathy Hochul are charter members of the accomplishments wing of the Democratic Party, and that's why I'm proud to endorse them.
Oops. No, I'm not going to get involved in races at all. Look, again, the establishment hates progressives, right? And look, they all defend each other because they're all in the same cocktail circuit. They all know each other. So Tom Perez is like, well, I'm going to stick up for my boy Cuomo. Well, in fact, that's exactly what they're saying. According to a DNC official, Tom has had a decades-long relationship with both Governor Cuomo and Lieutenant Governor Hochul. From knocking on doors for the governor's dad in Buffalo to their work together on fair housing in the Clinton administration to their collaborative work during Tom's tenure as labor secretary. The duo have many shared accomplishments and developed a strong personal bond. They're buddies. They're friends. Of course, Tom Perez is not going to be neutral, despite saying, I'm going to be neutral. But hey, look, Tom's my buddy. I'm going to stick up for my buddy against a real progressive, Cynthia Nixon. Look, bond or not, when you're the head of the DNC, your job is to remain neutral in primaries. Now they're saying, well, no DNC resources are going to go into this race into helping Cuomo. Doesn't matter. You are the de facto head of the DNC. What you do carries weight. What you do actually matters. When the head of the DNC publicly endorses you, whether or not it's acting as an official, in their official capacity, it doesn't matter. It's the perception that matters. But look, we all know who he was going to support anyway. But he basically swore off all efforts to remain neutral, or at least to appear to remain neutral, in going out and supporting Cuomo. So, look, at least maybe Perez should at least stop lying about, getting involved in primaries. Because we know they are. You just got involved. And again, we know the DNC, or the DCCC, has also been meddling in primaries. So at least they should be honest. You are the establishment, and you despise progressives, and you would rather have Republicans win than progressives get into power. That's what you believe. At least own it. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.